Hey guys, see I've got Adam and Tom, and Adam, I'm doing the same thing you are on my big screen. I've got Pro Tinker. I'm watching Brian assemble the track, and interesting to say the least. See, I love that that scale, but I mean, look how big that track is. I mean, just to get any length at all, I mean, it's huge. I don't have a room that big. So thank you, Adam. Thank you, Tom, for showing up. It looks like it's just the intimate three of us for right now. Hope your guys' week is going well. Sorry for the delay on the next live feed like I had planned on. Long story short, if you remember me rambling once about working with the post office, I'd injured my elbow, and that's why I no longer work with the post office. And during the move Sunday, somehow I managed to tweak that injury again. And Monday and Tuesday, I was suffering from arm numbness, and I finally got the feeling back in my hands and my arms and stuff. So, yeah. Oh, thank you, Tom. Appreciate that, buddy. Like I said, just getting through every day is a chore. So if you can make it halfway through the week, you can see the light at the end of the tunnel and know that you don't have to answer to the boss man on the weekend. At least that's the way I look at it. Oh, thanks, Adam. Oh, yeah, no, it's one of those deals. Like I said, I need to have surgery, but where you can afford surgery or to be off work for as long as it would take, because I've actually, what's happened, I'll just explain real quick. A nerve, one of my main nerves in my arm has become dislodged from its attachment, and it floats around in my elbow area. And if I pinch it the wrong way or it gets lodged in the wrong spot, then that's what causes those issues. So they even told me if I had it repaired, there's no guarantee that it would stay fixed the next time that I twisted it the wrong way and worked it. So, oh, hey, I just got a notification I'm live. It's nice to see YouTube's on the ball. Hey, all right, that's Slot Car Guy. All right, we have all of my loyal viewers that are here, and those of you that are going to be watching later. I plugged him in my description. I plugged his channel before because he is getting into H.O. slot car racing, even though his main gig was 132nd and the 124th series. So we all need to go by and support that Slot Car Guy. Be sure and like and subscribe to his channel. Follow along with the build on his H.O. build. He's going to have a kick-ass looking track, guys. I'm just telling you that straight away. He's going to be able to get some top speed on it. So it's a really good looking track. If you haven't been by, pay him a visit and give him the old thumbs up, like, and subscribe, and be sure and hit the bell because he does a lot of surprise unboxing, because he gets a lot of manufacturers that get him some cool stuff. So thank you for stopping by, buddy. I appreciate it. I'll keep plugging your channel. Wish you success on your HO track. If there's anything that myself or anybody on my channel can help you with, please let us know. We'll be more than happy to chime in and help you out. Oh, no, you're good, dude. No, I support everybody that supports this hobby. So, hey, we've hit 6 people, and I always say I won't start until I hit 5. We're above and beyond that, and so I'll get started because I know I'm splitting time with Brian here. This is one of the packages that was one of my international packages from a vendor. So this made it all the way from Germany on this invoice, and then somewhere along the way it got transported to somebody in Great Britain who printed another label, and then somehow it ended up here. But regardless, it took 3 weeks, but it's finally here. It doesn't look like the box is too awfully damaged considering how far it went around the world. So let's cut this bad boy open and see what Scott got. And we'll do some sharing tonight. And thankfully, looks like I said, so far so good. This looks better than some of the stuff that I've mailed across town. And seeing how it's been received by the Postal Service. So considering this thing went traveling from Germany, pretty impressive. And had I guess had a respite in the United Kingdom a little bit for the to pay its respects for the Queen passing. All right, well, you guys know me. I'm all about the bubble wrap and the good wrapping. We're off to a good start. All right, so I'll give you guys a little background on what I've got here in the box. We've got a lot of goodies. And once again, this is another one of those Scott was able to find an estate sale and basically take advantage of the unfortunate passing of someone else, and then their stuff became available from their family. And this stuff is all literally straight from Germany. And I was able to purchase another Tyco World Tour race set. So we're going to check. Obviously, this is the curves for one of that. And we're going to check and make sure the cars are all right. Not only did it come with the race set, obviously without a box, which is no big deal to me, but it came with some new old stock Tyco stuff, which I don't know if a lot of you have seen. The Formula Tyco corkscrew, high corkscrew, and obviously you don't have to use the corkscrew part of it. You can just use the banks and make a couple of bank corners out of the deal. So this was a really good deal to get with this bad boy. I always like to give the dates so we know what year it was made. Trying to find 1994. So we're looking at 26 years old, and yeah, still for the most part sealed. So pretty good deal there. And you know me and my vintage stuff. I'm not just a car collector. I also like collecting the old, gimmick stuff from the back in the day to have as a display. That's what I use my China hutch for, since I don't collect China, but I do collect slot car stuff. So here we have one of their loop tracks. Obviously, I'm never going to use this, but once again, it's brand new in the box, Hot Wheel Racing. And this is from circa, let's see here, I'm trying to find the date, 1998. So this is only 24 years old. But I got a couple of those with that corkscrew kit. So we're not going to go back over that. We already know what that is. So I got two of those, the corkscrew kit, the racetrack, and hopefully some undamaged set only cars. So that's what I'm going to dig through here. I'll tell you what, I'll get the big box out of the way. I moved the camera so you guys can kind of see what I was saying, not to try to show off my wonderful legs on my shorts there. All right, so there's some of the flags for the international race set that were included. Germany, ironically, Sweden, it looks like Netherlands. Cool. Like I said, that was a set only car or track, and these cars are, and this is the European version. So what we got in here looks like another little box with the main power pack and both the controllers. Making sure they didn't pack the cars in with this box, because that would be instant death with that power pack. Nope. All right, we're off to a good start. Like I said, I mean, peanuts, and which I hate, but like I said, I don't care as long as it's not broken, and then we'll pack it with what I call the bird nest stuff. So we're off to a good start. All right, well, put away my cutting utensil too soon. I think we have our winner. Yep. All righty. Let me get my little piece of track, since we all know I'm not a hand model. And oh my Lord, yeah. Well, once again, Scott struck gold. This is the Mika Hakkinen World Tour Hot Wheels electric racing set car. It's only a set car. And this is the international, or in this case, European version. And that is because of the color right there on that car designates it as the European or international version, and the American version is red. So if it's coming out on the camera, hopefully it is. Those are orange, which designates it international. If it was red, it would designate it as an American release. So really, really cool. As if you guys remember, I've already packed up one of these. I've already sold one of these. This is just a really hard car to find, especially the European version. So I'm very fortunate to find two of them. It made it all the way around the world and did not get damaged. And the best part is on the bottom, I don't know, like I said, I don't want to get too close to make the camera click. It looks almost brand new. So very, very good find. So we're off to a very, very good start for the evening. Let's make sure that the other car, which should be the Ferrari number 3, didn't have any damage. Big box. Yeah, happy time. Yes, Adam, you are correct. Oh yeah, thank you. Yeah, I'd appreciate the thumbs up, guys. Like I mentioned earlier, every time you guys interact with the channel, it helps those YouTube algorithms and pushes it out there, so more people are aware of my channel and what I'm doing. So I would definitely appreciate that. Thank you for the heads up. All right, yeah, more than peanuts. And we have another winner. Perfect condition. I'll just kind of hold it up there to show you, but then I'll put it back on the track. But so there we have them. There's your set cars from the international version of the World Tour racing set with from Hot Wheels Electric Racing. And this number 3 can be found in other places. It's this Mika Hakkinen that makes that set so rare. So if you are a collector, the European is orange, the American is red, and either one of them are collectible. But obviously they made fewer international sets because of the popularity not being as great as it is in North America and Canada, and some in Mexico. So these international set ones are really hard to get, especially when they're not damaged or broken, and shipped halfway around the world with a bunch of new old stock stuff. So with the conversion rate, I always like to tell you guys, it's not a bragging thing, but it's just to show you that there are deals out there that can be had. I got this shipped all the way around the world with everything that you see here for $80. So very, very good deal. A lot of people don't like to take the chance, and I can understand why, on international shipping. But in this case, like I do with everybody, I email them and say, please pack this stuff well. I don't want these cars damaged. I don't care if that track came in destroyed. I wouldn't honestly care if that came in destroyed, but these cars are what makes that set. So that's what you got to have. Hey, thank you, Joe, for stopping by. Appreciate it. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, no, that's just so you know, anytime, like I'm sure you could educate me on the larger scales, anytime you can find a rare set only car in the H.O world, yes, it is a treasure, and you got to feel very fortunate to find it, because this was in the later years of when Hot Wheels Electric Racing was being phased out of Mattel. And so this car was only available in sets. They didn't make it as a carded car, so that makes it even more desirable. And the fact that it's European or international, and they didn't make that many of those sets. So winner, chicken dinner. I'm definitely going to contact them after the live feed and let them know everything arrived safely, and thank them again for their due diligence on the packing. So we're off to a great start, in my opinion, guys. Great start. I mean, I've waited 3.5 weeks, almost a month, to get this stuff here. I have followed it all the way. I wondered why it stopped in England for a couple of days. Now I know, or the United Kingdom as it was labeled. But then it showed up in New York, and then a week and a half later, it was here after it cleared through customs. So pretty cool, really good. I like it. Well packed, good, rare stuff, you know, and a really good price. You can still find this stuff like this on eBay if you're looking for it, Etsy. It's just that the U.S. vendors get about $40 for this thing or more, and that would be, you know, half of what I just paid for everything. So like I said, the deals are out there. You just got to do your due diligence and do your research. So I'm not going to worry about packing that up really well. But so since I like the interaction with the channel, and thank you, Joe. Like I said, I appreciate that, man. You know, like I said, I like sharing what I had just to show that it's out there. And if there's something unique about it, be sure and put that out there so that people know what they're looking at, and maybe why I collected it. And then if you are a collector, then you know what to look for if you don't have one of those models. And so I'm just, like I mentioned when I started this channel, is just to grow the H.O hobby, grow my knowledge, and spread the wealth with everybody else that wants to share theirs with me. And so we all win together when we all share. So the interactive thing, I was going to do a poll, but then I saw Brian was doing his live feed, and I figured more people would be watching his live feed instead of worrying about my poll before my live feed started. So I figured I would just leave it to the people that joined me, all 9 of you. And thank you for the 9 thumbs up. That means everybody did. So thank you. I appreciate that. We've got 4 Auto World mainly cases here in front of us tonight. And the reason why I say that is because some of the racing rigs and stuff are some of my Aurora and Tyco stuff over here. But generally speaking, everything in these 3 cases is strictly Auto World series cars. So I'm going to do one case a night. And well, time out. I got to give you a heads up. Everybody knows that I've been going through this moving thing, and that's why I'm doing all this. Went to court today. Long story short, I get until the end of October to voluntarily leave, and everything's all good with everybody, and all's good in the world. The news even gets better for Scott, because instead of renting, I decided to go ahead and take that plunge, and I've applied for my first home loan, basically FHA loan, and that's being processed, and everything's looking good on that. So hopefully by the end of next month, I will have my new location, and we can watch all the unboxing of everything that I've already packed up. So if some people have missed some stuff, or they got bored with the live feed and had to leave and forgot where they left off and didn't want to come back to it, I completely get it, because some of these live feeds have been going 3 hours. So suffice to say, since everything's kind of been slowed down and not having to be moved by the end of this month, I'm going to take the time and spread it out, because I am packing still, but I'm going to give you guys the choice. What do you want to see me go through tonight first? You want to see me go through the old funny cars with some other Auto World stuff mixed in? Do you want a whole case of the modern funny cars? Do you want to see my whole collection of every single Top Fuel dragster that Auto World makes, except for the last 3 that they just released, and a couple of their series of the 4-gear? Or do you want to start with the big case over here of the racing rigs? So this is where you guys got to tell me what you guys want to see tonight, and then I'll put the other 3 cases down, and we'll focus on that one tonight. So chime in. All 11 of it. Hey, 11 people, thank you for joining in. I'm asking which case you want to see tonight, because I'm going to do one every night this week. We're going to start with the cases, and then when all the cases are done, I'm going to point at a wall, and I'm going to let you guys pick which wall you want me to start with, and I'll pack that wall for you. Racing rigs. All right. All of it. Rigs. Okay. No, I love the rigs. You guys are on the right. We're on the same wavelength. And I'm sorry if I'm getting close to the camera. I'll back off. Okay. We got a Joe Dirt. We got funny cars. So we got 2 racing rigs and funny cars. Now, Joe, do you want the old funny cars or the new funny cars? Because I have 2 boxes of them. Adam will go with the majority. Okay. Well, no, that's cool. So, I mean, if people don't want to, old. Okay, cool. Yeah, that one's a little thinner because those are a little harder to find. And those are really, really popular cars, and they get pretty pricey. But I've got a few of them that are pretty hard to find in there that, you may not have seen, or you may have seen them and thought, oh, good Lord. But like I said, a lot of these I got to purchase before the pandemic, and the prices went through the roof. Okay, so we've got 2 racing rigs. We've got an old funny car. So that's 3 votes, and we've got 9 people. And Adam said that he would go with the majority. So does anybody else have a preference? If not, then I'll start putting these away, and I'll swing the racing rigs around, and we'll start with those bad boys. If that's good. Sorry, Joe. Unless somebody wants to chime in and back up Joe on it. Right now, the racing rigs are winning. 10-4, good buddy. Hey, Dave, thank you for stopping in. Sorry, I'm having to go back through. Oh, nice. See, like I said, I've got his live stream on my TV right now instead of mine, but I got it on mute, so I don't know how that would work. It's all good. No problem, man. No, I appreciate you guys stopping in. Like I said, I apologize, and I don't know if you guys know what it's like not to feel your arm, but like when you hit your funny bone and everything tingles real bad, and then your hand and arm and everything's just all numb for a little bit, and you can't feel it for a second. Yeah, well, that's how my arm was for 2 days. So obviously typing and doing anything with this arm was a no bueno. So, all right, well, I tell you what I'm going to do is I'm going to move these 3 out of the way. I'm going to move the racing rigs up here, and then I'm going to reposition the camera so we have a better view of the case and the trucks that are in it, so you can kind of see what's coming. And then I kind of have them in order of the series that they were released in. I just don't have the details of exactly which series that is and what year it is right now. I apologize. That information's already been packed away. So I'm just going to have to try to wing it. And I just know that I grouped those together by the series that they were released in. And then some of them are hodgepodges because I don't have the complete series on that row of that particular series, you know, because some of them came with 4 or more trucks. So give me a second, we'll get this all set up and we'll get started. Yeah, I had a Leaning Tower of Pisa going here, so I got to be really careful. These are my real wood with real glass cases, so they're a little heavier than those Hot Wheel cases, obviously. And these 2 cases, in case you were wondering, are spaced wider because these cars and these trucks will not fit in those Hot Wheel cases. So this was a mandatory purchase if I wanted to show off the trucks and the Top Fuel dragsters. So in case anybody was wondering, that's why they're just physically bigger. This. Sorry, you guys are going to get jiggled for a second because I'm going to raise the tripod so you guys can get a better view. Obviously, I would never make it in TV production. I love these ones that are twist to lock because every time you twist one, it unlocks another one. I don't know if any of you guys have one of these, but yeah, it is what it is. All right, that's a pretty good view. And let me see if I got a piece of 15-inch track so we can put those bad boys on a piece of track and look at them. All right, get this party started. Like I said, I apologize for not having the exact details on which series is which right now and what the years they were released. I do have it all written down because that's how I know which ones that I have and which ones that I need to try to get. Because I really like these racing rigs. So this one doesn't disappoint me at all to start with. I'll put it that way. So this is obviously one of their earlier releases. I'm not sure if this is number 1 or number 2. I think it's number 2. But this is the Holly racing rig with the hooker headers and the Y-end intakes. And these were all purchased brand new. So every single one of these has just been pulled out of their hard box and placed in my case. And so pretty cool looking truck. You can still see these on eBay anywhere from $40 to $60 if you're interested. They're still out there. It's a good looking rig. I like it. Let me see. I know I'm going to have to do them separately, but this will be the first time I've had to rewrap these, and I don't know if I got the right size bubble wrap for the ones that I was using that with. So just a second, sorry. There's an easy way to solve that problem. Just use 2 pieces because I don't want my little trucks to get damaged. Anybody out there have any of those? Like the new, yeah. If I had a $500,000 bank account or money in my bank, I don't know that I would be spending it on a camera. I could see myself spending it on my race car, a trailer, paying off the house that I'm buying, and adding extensively to my slot car collection. I would have some of those rare cars that I only get to see and dream about owning because my wallet won't allow me to purchase them. So that would be pretty awesome. I would be down with that. Sorry, bubble wrap's not cooperating. and I don't want to put a lot of pressure on those pipes because I don't want to break them. So once I get this all packed up, then I'll put other bubble wrap in there to make sure it fills in the gaps. But all right, so this particular series of trucks came with a tractor trailer and a dump truck for each, as the A and the B is like kind of what they call them or whatever. So this is the tractor or the dump truck that went with the more or less is like the sister truck with that Holly 18-wheeler that we just saw. And then you'll see the theme here on the next one with the comp cams trailer. So like I said, these are all brand new. Now these dump trucks kind of get pricey sometimes on eBay. I see them on eBay and Etsy going for $60 to $100 depending on who's deciding they want to try to buy it when. But they're still out there. Just they're getting harder to find, and people are getting more money for them, just like everything. You know, prices of everything gone up, and these rare, not as produced trucks are part of that increase. Yeah, definitely going to have to do some work on the wrapping job after I'm done with the live feed. Cool, thank you, Dave. And then you'll kind of see here with the comp cams version of the truck, this is the black and red. And we saw the red dump truck. And if you don't already know what's coming next, you're going to get to see the black dump truck. And that would be the 4 that were released in this set. Oh, thank you, Adam. Yeah, I like it. I like that black. And I actually run a comp cams in my drag car, so, you know, that's kind of cool. Get that one done. Like I said, it takes 2 pieces of the bubble wrap with the trailers because they're such an odd size. And obviously I don't know where my correct size bubble wrap is, but that's not going to stop us from going. Like I said, I can tidy up later. You'll see once you're seeing what I'm seeing, what I'm talking about. You know, like I said, the bubble wrap's just kind of flopping around because it's not the right size. But here we go. Here's the black version. I'll quit rambling about the bubble wrap issues. You can see here they kind of highlighted this one with some red highlights there on the top, you know, some pinstriping. Kind of cool. Kind of broke up all that black. But you can't go wrong with black. Black's classic. And I love the way they did the dump bed chrome. So really cool looking truck, dump truck. But that's part of that series right there. Yeah, I don't know if you've seen the AFX World with Ringo, but he's all the time having to order stuff in because there's nothing there in Australia. And the conversion rate is kind of like what my Canadian friends and people that are subscribers to this channel are finding out is the exchange rate is just outrageous. As I buy and sell slot cars, and I've sold a few to Canadians, and it's just amazing how much difference, how much more they have to pay for stuff just because it's crossing an imaginary line. Kind of silly. All righty, and then the next series of trucks that I have, we have, this is the A version of the Pepsi Big Rig. Really? Now that surprised me. I figured that Auto World would jump all over that, you know, try to get some down there. We'll have to talk. I'll have to get you a couple Auto World cars just for your track. I ship internationally. I've shipped everywhere. But these are some really good looking trucks. I like this, the old Pepsi version, if you remember from back in the day, the 80s and the 90s version of the Pepsi, which is pretty cool. And I made it a mission to try to get all of these trucks, but like I said, some of them are just older. They didn't make that many of them, and the prices are just, you know, people are proud of what they have, and I get it. You know, it's all about supply and demand. Hey, Ryburn. Sorry, buddy, I missed you there, rambling. You know, Scott, get me talking slot cars, and I might forget where we're at and what we're talking about. Get down the A version of the Mountain Dew. Like I said, these are pathetically wrapped, but at least now I got some of the bubble wrap up there next to it. And this is the Mountain Dew, old Mountain Dew truck that I grew up with whenever I was younger. And being able to buy Mountain Dew in here, let's see if we can. I'm looking at my computer since I've got Brian on the big screen, so I can't see exactly what you guys are saying because it's opposite. So I'm trying not to get it wide up. Oh, thank you. Yeah, the Yahoo Mountain Dew guy. Back when I was younger, we didn't have a lot of plastic bottles. We had more hard glass bottles, and that old hillbilly supposedly drinking his Mountain Dew like his moonshine was the big advertising thing. So I love that truck. I love that truck. Like I said, it just reminds me of my youth. And then they even did the trailer doors in the back. And in case a lot of you didn't know, I don't know if you did or didn't, if you don't have any of these, you can see they all come with their little trailer wheels, so you don't necessarily have to be hooked up to the rig. As you can see there, you can stand them down, and if you want to, you can just race the rigs, or if you're watching the Pro Tinker racing some nights, then you can sometimes they get out their rigs and they actually race some of them, and that's always a good time watching those things go flying around. Brian's reading instructions in case any of you are wondering right now. He's trying to figure out how to set up the digital track. Yes, it's painful. Well, obviously I have it on mute, so, but I can tell by the look on his face that he was looking kind of upset. Oh, hey, well, at least he got a car going around the track. And this is the Pepsi version number 2 here. This is a more modern version, if I can get it to clip in. There we go. So we have kind of like Auto World does in their series. If you guys don't collect, that don't know what I'm talking about, they'll do what they call an A and a B version of a vehicle. And in this case, they did different eras of Pepsi Cola advertising. So you saw an early version of Pepsi advertising and an early version of Mountain Dew advertising, and now we're seeing the later version. Pretty cool. Yeah, Daniel's probably not making Brian very happy doing that, which is even funnier. They were arguing about Christmas and him not being there this year earlier. And like every kid, he's more concerned with the now than the future. So that's just the way it is when you're young. All right. Like I said, this is going to have to be a major redo whenever I'm off camera. There we go. All righty, and here's the latter version of the Mountain Dew. So this would be the what they call the B version. Here, let me get him in the slot. Okay, so here's like one of those quality control things with Auto Worlds. See what we got going on here, guys? The front end's lifting up because the springs are too strong for the chassis. That is a riot. Oh, crack me up. Crack me up. Brand new, never ran. Let's see if we can fix this bad boy before I wrap it up. That is too funny. Nope, just came bent. The shoe is physically bent in that position. It got bowed, I guess, during packing. Nice. Cool. Not my packing, during their packing. Unreal. Oh well. We all know quality control is not high on the list for Auto World, so it's just one of those things. You know that going in, and you just pray for the best when you order. Is the easiest way I can say it. Move that out of the way, and I'm just going to start putting trucks and trailers there because I'm going to have to redo everything. So I'm going to have to find those bigger pieces or start using some Scotch tape. All right, so we're on to another series here. This is the A version of the Kendall Pro Stock car for Veneri Gaines, or V Gaines as he went by. And we'll see this again. This particular truck I have again later in one of their chrome limited editions. Baby need new shoes. Yes, right, Bert. Yeah, definitely does. My poor Mountain Dew truck damaged on the assembly line. This is pretty cool because I'm a drag racer. This guy races in the class that I would love to race if I was ever fortunate enough to be able to afford to, and that's Pro Stock. And that's just a good looking truck in my book. And then, like I said, that's the A version. Adam, you're killing me, buddy. I'll let everybody read what Adam says. I won't parrot it, but that's some funny stuff. I just have to say that I think you're pretty close to right. I'll just say I agree with you. Oh, and I'm going to leave it there because I'm not getting in the middle of no feuds. Crack me up. All righty. Thank you for the humor, Adam, by the way. Here's the B version of that Kendall truck. As you can see, they changed it from a black and red to a red and black, or however you want to look at it. The trailer's red this time. Pretty cool. I love the detail. You can see they even took the time to do up the trailer doors with the car just like it really was on the going down the road, if you ever saw this going to a racetrack. Except it had a lot more sponsorships and stuff on it, but it's all good. Kind of cool. I wish they'd do more of the drag racing rig type stuff, to be quite honest. Oh, he's preaching about something now. He's on the pulpit. Oh, my Lord. That'll endear him to the family. My son's marrying a Mexican. Oh, no. That's not how you say that, Brian. All right, and here's my man. You know, like I said, there's nobody like the king, whether he cheated or not. Like I said, cheating's only cheating if you get caught in NASCAR racing, and he didn't get caught that often. So he is the king, and here's the vaunted baby blue Richard Petty version A. And you'll notice I'll point out the A version and the B version. Now the A version is a solid blue, baby blue up here with a dark blue stripe. Oh, there we go. Better get him in there before he flops off. Once again, they did the detail on the trailer. Trying to get the angle right. Said just a good looking rig, especially if you like Richard Petty, and you know, got the vaunted 43 on the top. So pretty cool truck right there on the hood of the tractor. So as you're going down the road, you can see who's getting ready to ram you. Hey, isn't that Richard Petty's truck? Boom. Yeah, sure was. Bump and run. All right. Thanks again for all 8 of you participating tonight. I appreciate it. If you have any questions on any of these trucks, let me know. I mean, I'll try to answer what I can off of memory, and if I don't know it, then I'll tell you I don't know, and I'll try to find out. And here we have the B version, and it's going to be pretty obvious, like I mentioned. This one has a red stripe with a red little air deflector on the top, and it still has the 43 on the top and on the trailer there. So that's the red version. Honestly, I like them both. You know, I know why they did them both, but this is the MO for Auto World. They make two of everything and then have one in a different livery than another. Oh, well, it looks like he stopped his video, or he's done. Siestas are Hey, I'm right there with you. I come home from a Taco Tuesday and I take a siesta. So I get it. So give me a second here, guys. I'm going to, since Brian ended his feed, I'm going to go to my feed so I can see what you guys are seeing to see if I'm just bungling it all up. Okay, so you kind of, I got a weird angle going on there, but okay. So it's not that bad. Just a second here. I'm wrapping up the other truck if you couldn't tell. And then we'll go to the next series. And if you're 70s rock and roll fans, you're going to know this one. And you're going to know this group. Want to rock and roll all night and party every day. There we go. We got the Kiss Love Gun GMC 74 Astro Hauler, I believe. Hey, Clint. Thank you for stopping by. Cliff. This one is going for insane money right now, guys. I got both of mine for a total of $80, and now you can't touch one of these trucks for 80 or 100 bucks. It's insane. Sorry, got more pop-ups got to get rid of so I can read your guys' chat. So, you know, Kiss, anything with Kiss on it's going to be worth money down the road. If you're a collector, you definitely want to get one of these if you can afford it. And you would prefer to get one NOS, new old stock, or brand new if you could, because that is going to be a collector no matter what. And I do have, just to show my age, I do have some Kiss albums, and I do have that album, Love Gun, and it actually came with a little cardboard gun. No lie. That's the honest to God truth. And I still have it. There we go. All right. Found some of my longer pieces, so now I don't have to use two of them. It'll go a little easier. All right, and I know the Kiss trucks only came out as two trucks. And this is when, if you remember back in the day, and if you don't, I'll give you a little history lesson. This is when Kiss decided they wanted to do each of their own albums. So each individual band member did their own separate album with them doing the vocals, and most of the other bandmates played on it. So basically it was just like a Kiss ×4, depending on whose song you wanted to listen to. And so I never even knew the drummer sang, and he came out with that song Beth. So, you know, that was one of their biggest hits. Still gets played today. But I like the way they, you know, put some color on it. And I don't know if it's going to show up. No, probably not. It's really faint on the truck. But they used to have little symbols on their albums that was supposed to designate which band member it was, kind of like their makeup. And they put those on the top of the truck in a shadow type of thing. Yeah, you can kind of see it there, which is pretty cool. That's a great detail. Like I said, guys, if you like these racing rigs and you're a collector, you've got to get these Kiss trucks. That's just bottom line. They are going to be worth money. The prices that they're getting now is already up there. So as they get older and we get older, it's just going to just keep going up. It's not going to go down. They're not going to go less. Unless something really comes out with Kiss that just makes everybody not want to have their stuff. I mean, you know, like if you were a Jared Fogle fan of Subway, you're probably not admitting that you collected any of the stuff that he had. Just saying. That's an example. So until they do something egregious like that, then they're golden. Good stuff to collect. And these next two trucks I like just simply because A, they're good looking trucks, and B, I'm kind of a fan of their particular product. I like the Butterfinger truck. Really cool. Nestle. Kind of got that petty blue going on, but that's the Nestle for the Butterfinger. Good looking truck. Even on the back doors. Oh yeah, see, I'm far enough away from the camera, it's not clicking anymore. I can see that, and I don't hear it, so yay. Now, one thing I didn't point out, but if you'll notice the detail on these trucks, check that out. They even put the air hose, the air lines, the brake lines, and stuff like that. I'm going to try to tilt it. I can see it's kind of reflecting, but I'm trying to find the right angle, sorry. But you get the idea. I'm not going to sit here and bore you to death with it, but they even went to that detail right there, and that's pretty cool. They even put color in it. It didn't make it all just, you know, one solid silver or black or anything like that. They actually took the time to make a little detail on it, which is pretty cool. Kind of like Gene Turner. Oh, Kiss Army, yes. I remember that gun. Yes, okay, thank you, Ed, for backing me up so I didn't sound crazy. Yeah, no, I still have that album. I still have that Love Gun album. And then, like I said, when I popped it open back in the day, those albums, you know, when you got albums, a lot of times they put a lot of gimmicky stuff in them. And that just so happened. I mean, I didn't buy it because I knew that was in there. I bought it because I wanted that album. And it just so happened that that little gun popped out. And it says Love Gun on it. And you pull a little trigger. It's pretty funny. And here's another one of my favorite candy bars. I'm sure we've all seen this truck, the Crunch. Nestle's Crunch, and that's the only two in this series, so that's why those four were on the same row, is because there was the Butterfinger and the Crunch and the two versions of the Kiss. So those were two separate series, so that's why those two were kind of put together. I don't know that they were in order, but that's why those four trucks were together in the case. Like I said, once I do the unpacking, then I'll give us some more detail of what series and how many and yada, yada, yada. But for right now, we're just going to look and see what those trucks look like and maybe show off some of them that you hadn't seen. There we go. All right. Now, this is kind of like my row of specialty trucks to a point, and then half and half. So the first one, like I mentioned, this is what they call a chrome edition. So this would be like a chase version at the time before they went to the chase versions. And there's the Kendall chrome truck. So it's literally all chromed out. And this is another one of those new old stockers. And so this is rarer than the other two, just because of that being the chrome edition. And then they put little chrome rims on it. Except for the actual magnet traction chassis, which was kind of a brain scratcher. But, yeah, you can see it reflects. I won't bore you with it. But yeah, see, I flipped it right there and look at it. Yeah, good looking truck, all chrome. Hey, so who do we have on that's from Pro Tinker tonight? Thank you for joining, by the way. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention in my open, I put it in my description below, and I've got to do that tonight myself. We got to email Tim and Ryan on what we think is a good starting price for the auction cars that are coming up. So be sure and get your stuff in there. I got that email in. Ryan answered me back, and I put it in the description of the last video that I mentioned it. And it's in this one here tonight too. It looks like it's been cleaned with olive oil. Thank you, Gene. Speaking of olive oil, and those of you that were with me the other night after the race night, and Ryan and Tim and Mandy all joined in, I mentioned to Tim that I was going to get him some Novus so that he could quit using olive oil on all those cars. And I'm not sure who's with us with Pro Tinker tonight, but you can tell him his Novus should be delivered tomorrow per the tracking. So I told you I'm a man of my word. So he'll have it before race night if the delivery is correct. And here is one of those chase trucks that I mentioned earlier. And this is the Jegs version. And those of you that are into Auto World. Oh, all right. Thank you for joining in, Brian. I appreciate it. I guess this is the first time you got to join my view. No, the olive oil thing's got to go. And that's why I personally donated the Novus. And once you see how well that stuff works, you're going to be sold too. Trust me, it's awesome stuff. I polish all my cars with it and polish the ones that I sell with it. So thank you for joining. I appreciate it. Now I've had everybody from Pro Tinker join in. So thank you all. I appreciate it. I support you guys. You support me. We all win. Back to the trucks. This is one of the chase versions of the Jegs. The normal one's all solid yellow. If you're familiar with the Jegs racing, kind of like that. And then the rest of the truck would be that. So this is their chase version of that truck, which is obviously the more collectible of them. And that's a good looking rig. I like it. Like I said, you can find these every so often, but get the wallet ready. Hey, Gene. So what did you think? I was going to say, you said good stuff, so I'm assuming that you were happy with it. I mean, I don't get any royalties or anything off of it. I get no kickbacks. I just, like I told you guys, I support the people that support me, and if I know something that works, I am going to share it. Kind of like with that Woodland Hobbies paste glue for their green matte grass. I was honest, that stuff sucked. Waste of money, waste of time, cost me money for my grass that it ruined. I mean, I was pissed. I'll be honest. I emailed them and told them, said, I'm going to do a review on it and you're not going to like it. Here we have a Lucas Oil version, and the next two are part of a series, and I don't have the other two trucks that are in that series, so that's why you saw the two limited edition trucks together. So this is your Forest Lucas of Lucas Oil. Yes, no, that's why I'm sharing, because I want to know what other people have, what they have or haven't seen, and that way I can show maybe something that somebody else doesn't have or they haven't seen one. I mean, you would not believe how many people have commented or reached out to me and said, I haven't seen that car ever. If you find another one, I want one. Buy it, I'll buy it from you. I mean, it's just insane. So this has been like a little knowledge and sharing for everybody, because there were certain versions of car I didn't even know about. So I love this interaction with this live feed and being able to share stuff and then have other people tell me about their stuff, and it's been really cool, really cool. So, and that's why I love. I don't know if you caught it, Brian, but I mentioned it the other night. I consider these little slot cars like little time capsules. And every time you pick up one, it almost transports you back to where you were when you first got that particular truck. Oh, thank you. Yes. No, I need something, because these bigger cases like this, like I mentioned, I told you guys I disclose all my prices and everything. I don't have any reason to hide. I'm sharing. These wooden cases with real glass cost $100 to $120 for these bigger ones. Now the smaller, shorter ones are the $80 to $90, but these bigger ones are $100 to $120. And so if they came out with anything like that, that would be awesome. Because obviously I'm going to need it. All righty. And I'll get this one down and put it on the track. Like I said, I'm going to have to reorganize this. Don't worry, guys. I'm more into showing you what the trucks are and talking and chatting than I am worried about the way it looks right now. It'll be packed up and securely where these won't flow around. But this may be one that a lot of people may or may not have seen if you're not familiar with the racing rigs. This is the Chevron. The other version that would be the B version of this truck would be the Shell. So if you've seen the Shell truck, then this was the Chevron. So I don't know which one's A, which one's B. Like I said, I don't have my information in front of me. But there's their two chrome tankers that they came out with. And that's just a slick looking rig. The old Chevron. You got to have gas for the racetrack. Hey, Dan. Thank you for stopping in, buddy. I sent you a text earlier tonight. Sorry, man. I apologize for my delay. Didn't plan on not being able to use my right arm. Monday at work, guys, this is no lie. Since my right arm was dead and I have to type for my job, I was literally typing with my left hand, having to hunt and peck because I'm only used to using half my keyboard with it. So Monday's work sucked. Tuesday's work sucked. I was off today and my arm started getting feeling back, and I'm like, well, you know, I've got more packing to do. It's time to get back on the horse and get back to work. So I'm doing light work tonight. Thank you, man. Sorry, like I said, you know, sometimes life. And these are some of the racing rigs from the Snake and Mongoose. You will see these running at the Pro Tinker night when they have their race night, when they do their racing rigs, because I've seen a couple of times people get these bad boys out and race them. And I do have both versions of that Snake and Mongoose race set with the funny cars. And so I thought it was only appropriate that I got the truck that had the cars on them, right? You know, like I said, we can always find a reason to buy more cars. And so that was my justification. And the detail on this truck is just awesome if you guys haven't seen it. I mean, they got the stripe going down the top. I mean, they got that actual 1971 on there with the Snake and the Mongoose livery. They really did up the truck on this one really nice. And then on the back side, you know, like I said, they managed to get the doors with the livery on there. So this is just a good looking little rig. And like I did mention, I am going to be purchasing that Snake and Mongoose drag set that has the vans. So we'll be able to look at those. Not real soon, but there's too many other good cars coming out that are being released. And I know for a fact that I'll be purchasing that new AFX horsepower challenge or whatever it is, the one with the Shelby Cobra and the ZL1 Camaro. That's going to be a purchase immediately. By the way, Brian, I saw your review on the 4-lane track, and that's on the list. I want one. It's just money and time right now. So this would be, I would guess, considered the B version of that truck. Different little livery on the sticker. Obviously, the truck's blue, and instead of the stripe going down the top, they did flames, which is pretty cool to differentiate them. And this is the Snake and Mongoose 2 version. So, like I said, these are just good-looking rigs. If you like the racing rigs, you'll like these. I know they're not the right scale for the cars, but that's okay. That's not the point. Point is, they look badass, and it lets you think you're racing a big rig. So pretty cool stuff. Can't wait to believe it or not, I'm going to race these two going down the drag strip, just so whenever we do our drag racing thing. Oh, the Red Heritage. Okay, cool. Thank you, Dan. Why are you packing up all the cars? Because my landlord decided that they didn't want to honor the auto renewal of my lease, and decided that rather than let me sign a new lease, they decided they wanted to evict me, even though I've been here this is my 11th year. A new management company bought the rights to manage this property. And so long story short, they want me out. I went to court today. I won, they lost. Yay. I told you they were going to get their asses handed to them. They didn't believe me. And so instead of them wanting me out by this Saturday, I told them I could be out by the end of next month, and the court agreed with me, and we're all good. So now that's why I'm having to pack everything. So if you've happened to see my wall on the tour the last time, you know that I've got this twin pack of this Ron Capps truck. So this is going to be one that's going to be used for like the diorama stuff on my racetrack. So that's why I've got it in there. So, but for right now, that's where it's going to get stored, is in the cases until it hits the diorama. Oh, thank you, Dan. Yeah, no, I appreciate it, man. It's not rare that you go to court against a business and win. I'll just put it that way. This is all about slot cars. I can talk how crooked the courts are and everything like that all day, but just suffice to say, I was the exception, not the rule today. And sometimes it's nice to know that karma's on your side. Now, this is one of the ones I mentioned that I think, without looking at my notes, and if someone's out there, yeah, thank you, Dan. Yeah. See, brother from a different mother, man. That's why we get along. I believe, and please correct me if I'm wrong, like I said, I don't have my notes. This is the Series 1. I think this is one of the two trucks that's the very first series of the racing rigs. It's not chrome anywhere except on the back doors and on the lower part of the truck. And you'll notice that this one has clear glass up front, not tinted glass. And this just got their Auto World livery on the side. So does anybody want to correct me or tell me? Well, Adam, we try to please. Was the judge a fan? No, well, he was a fan of the law, and the law was on my side. And let's just say the evidence that the other rental property said that they had, stating that they had notified me of, they couldn't produce in court. And so they contacted my attorney yesterday at 10 minutes till 5 o'clock to ask me if I would go along with just trying to be out the end of next month, and they would drop everything. So of course I obliged. Assholes. Because I knew I had them dead to rights. Yeah, I thought so too, Dan. Slot Valley. In case people don't know who I'm talking when I say that. Okay, so I mentioned that most all of this is my racing rigs from Auto World, and we've reached the end of my Auto World that's not on the wall, that's in the cases here, and now we're to the some of my Tyco and AFX ones. So this is the venerable Dale Earnhardt from his Goodwrench twin pack that came with the Chevy Lumina that I'm looking straight ahead at the wall, that we'll all get to see here in the future. Once again, I got this one as a separate, just for the diorama for the racetrack, because how can you go wrong with Dale Earnhardt and Goodwrench? Even though I'm a Ford guy, like I said, I don't hate. I recognize someone that was a good driver. It came with the car normally, but it was one of those deals. This one's used. It was just one of those deals where someone had opened it up and was selling the truck, so I just happened to snatch it up. You can sign, like I've got an Ernie Urban racing rig with a Lumina car on eBay right now for sale, and then sometimes you can see those, just the Lumina that comes in that, like I have that for sale too, or you can find just the truck by itself for sale. But most of the times you end up getting, no offense to anybody's ears out there, you end up getting screwed if you just buy one or the other. The best deal is to buy both at the same time. And then this next truck, that's the Aurora that I'm going to show off, is the one that I was able to get another one from Portugal. This is another one of my international purchases, and this is actually a new old stock from 1974 version of this truck. And this is the Lotus Grand Prix Olympus. So I don't know if a lot of people have seen this particular version of this truck, but this is the this is how it was sold. And like I said, this is new old stock. This was brand new, and I bought this one overseas. Still got the original sticker up there above the cab. Obviously, the stickers are still in good shape on the sides. All the pipes are still there. Like I said, brand new. Just had to travel halfway around the world to get into my collection, but I'm really glad that it did. Anybody, well, I'll hold it up here again while I'm asking. Anybody else out there seen this one in the past or have one that they own in their own collection? Like I said, I think it's a good looking rig. Yeah, I remember 1974, guys. This thing's 48 years old. Only the stickers, yeah. Yeah, I've seen the replacement stickers. I tried to bid on one that was a speed steer version of it, but it got, like I said, it went over well over $100, and that's, you know, I like these trucks, but like I said, I view my collection as quality and quantity. So I'm all about having rare stuff, but I don't want to blow my wad, so to speak, on one rare vehicle versus being able to buy 2 or 3. Even though somewhere probably down the road, the other one by itself would be worth more, you know, at least I got it. This is the very same truck with a different sticker package on it, basically. We've all seen this one. Most of us have anyway. This one isn't a new old stock. It's got half of it. This is a perfect example for me to show you guys if you ever want to buy these used. See how the full smokestack is there, and then someone had wrecked it and broke off half of it there. But it sits in my case like that, so it's all good. But this was once again purchased for the diorama, because this is going to be nothing but, when it goes in the new house, nothing but Auto World racing rigs. Oh, cool. Thanks, Robert. Like I said, I love the participation. I got your email today too, buddy. Thank you for sending those pictures. That's awesome. That is awesome. And I got a little story, because like I said, I'm going to be able to do more videos before I move, and I'm going to run out of stuff in here to pack. And so I'm going to keep out a couple of cars that I have some stories for, and one of them is going to be the GT40, and it also applies to that Porsche that you sent me a picture of. And it has to do with Le Mans. Now, like I said, I'm going to worry about organizing it better and getting them packed away. Now, we've all seen this one, because we all know that Scott recently purchased, if you saw any of my other videos, I was fortunate enough to get a brand new 1975 Smokey and the AFX Express track set. So I now have, this one's used, not bad, but it's still used. And now I have one that's been used one time with the race set that it came with. So obviously this one's going to go on the diorama, and the other one that came with that race set is going to go in the case. But you can see they changed up the truck a little bit. This one's red with the same design as the other one, with the blue and red and white. So this one's got all of its stacks and everything still there. It's a good looking truck, good looking version. Oh yeah, thank you. Yeah, no, that's what I love about this hobby is every car has a story, and it sometimes they're just really unique on how you get stuff and how stuff falls in your lap. And you know, some of the best surprises I get are some of the ones that I never saw coming, obviously, or it wouldn't be a surprise. But it's just like that race set. You know, I can honestly remember being in the 4th grade, 3rd or 4th grade, somewhere in there, wanting that race set, and out of sight, out of mind. And then all of a sudden you see it a few times, like I mentioned, broken up. And hey, thank you, Jack. Thank you for coming in. Sorry if I missed you coming in earlier. And then all of a sudden it pops up again, and you can remember being that kid. And I saw that one in the Sears catalog, you know, so, and all of a sudden I can remember, and it gives me goosebumps right now. I mean, seriously, guys, that was a childhood want. that I thought I was never going to be able to get. And then boom, I got the miracle of all miracle tracks. All righty. So those of you who know me know that I am a Tyco fan, obviously, and we'll know that more by the carded cars that I have here. This is one from their US1 trucking kit, their sets, I'm sorry, that they had. And this is a Pacific Intermountain Express, the Pi truck. And you can tell it's obviously used. Some of the chrome's going away, but once again, you know, a lot of these trucks and trailers with the Coca-Cola and stuff like that for that US1, they get pretty pricey. This one's on, yeah, see, there's, in case you guys were wondering if you never saw one of those US1 trucking chassis, that's so it can go forward and backwards. And that doesn't look like that one's been used very much. Looks like the trailer's in worse shape than the truck was. Because it's got a couple little scratches on it, but not bad. All things considered, how old it is. I'm not even going to bother with that. That's too small. Like I said, I had specific ones cut for these, and I grabbed the wrong bag. That's all right. And then these are the same thing, but there's a, since you guys like the stories that go with them, I'm going to point it out. So I was fortunate enough to buy a rare Porsche from a gentleman in one of my sets back in my cases that you saw. And I already had this dump truck, and this someone has changed out and put an HP2 chassis on this one so it can be ran around a normal slotted track. And I got that thing for like 15 bucks because no one wanted it because of that chassis underneath it. I didn't care. I wanted it for display for on my track on the diorama. So when I bought, here's the story, and it's about this one right here. And that is because when I bought this truck, or when I bought the Porsche, the gentleman that I bought it from threw in this truck for free. Just like, kind of like the old days when you used to buy a Tyco, send in the coupon and get the car for free, like I mentioned, on that Buick Regal that was chrome and the black Wildcat Tyco F1 car. Well, that's what that reminded me of, and that was so cool. And not only did he throw it in as free, but this was new old stock. So this thing's brand new. He gave it to me for free. I emailed him back and asked him, I said, what do I owe you for this truck? Because this was not what I purchased. I thought he made a mistake and sent it to me by accident. And he said he was just cleaning out his collection, and he was giving away extra cars, or in this case, trucks, to people that paid a certain dollar amount for certain cars that he was selling as a surprise bonus and saying thank you for buying from him. So once again, you've heard me say it in the past, and I'm going to say it again. H.O. slot car people and their families of people that are in this hobby are some of the most genuine, down-to-earth people I've ever met. Someone I've never met before in my life decided to give me a brand new old stock dump truck that sells for 50 bucks on eBay by itself because it's brand new. So that's one of those stories that I'd like to share. Yeah, amen, Ed. Yeah, no, like I said, that's another reason why I love this hobby, is because the people in it. It's not just the cars and the memories. It's the people that you get to share all that stuff with, because all that stuff's meaningless unless you have someone to share it with. And then having like-minded people that share and feel the same way, that's just awesome. I mean, don't get me wrong, guys. There's some bad people out there too in the slot car hobby, but there's bad people in every hobby. And let's be honest. I mean, there's no hobby that doesn't have bad apples. But for majoritively speaking, our hobby that we love and enjoy is filled with more people that are genuine and that are out to treat people good and be nice and do the right thing. So we've reached the last two vehicles for tonight's show, and then I'll just recap for people that missed the beginning. Kind of like I do, I'll go backwards, but I'm not going to go backwards on all the trucks. You'll have to catch the video for that. As a lot of you know, you've seen these rescue vehicles. Once again, these are for the diorama for the track, because I do have an old Faller hospital for my track. So if you're going to have a hospital for a med center for your racetrack, then you got to have an ambulance and rescue units, right? So like I said, you can buy these on eBay. A lot of times you can find them new old stock. That's what these are. And then I turned around and was able to find a new old stock original chassis, Aurora chassis to stick underneath them. So now I have me a couple of new old stock white and red versions of the rescue vans with 4-gear Aurora chassis. And like I said, those will be sitting on my diorama in a couple of places around the track, obviously, to make it look authentic. So that's pretty cool. So I got my cop cars, got my ambulances, got my taxis. You can see where I'm going with this, you know. People got to get to the track, you know. Realism. Oh, yeah, no, I've seen that video that you're talking about, Slot Valley. I've seen that one, Dan. And I thought about doing that with that other one, because now I have one that's brand new. I can modify that dump truck like that guy did to scrape his off and clean it. And maybe give my Auto World Super 3 cars that are not so fast a break for cleaning off the track rails. That's all they get used for. That's all it gets used for, literally, is cleaning off the rails. Because it's so damn slow and no other body fits on it. I mean, yeah. Has anybody out there, while we're talking? Hey, thank you, Ryan. Has anybody out there had a chance to run one of the new Super 3s? Or are they even out yet? You use Super 3s for that as well. See? Yeah, I mean, you bought the damn car. They look good. They just don't run. They're crap. I mean, I'm sorry. I call a spade on this channel. I show no favorites. If it's good, I tell you it's good. If it's bad, I tell you it's bad. Yeah, they look great. They just run for shit. Well, I don't know about the new ones. I'm talking. Does anybody out there, are the new ones out, or and if they are out, does anyone have one? And are they really as big of an improvement as what we're all being promised they will be? And I'll get the other stuff ready here and kind of shove this out of the way. Yeah, the artwork and stuff on those Auto World cars, I've never complained about the cars' looks at all, ever. They always look great. They just run for crap. And you got to keep working on them all the time. I like working on my cars and all, but I like racing more than I like working on them. Yeah. Bubble Wrap decided to want to spit out the truck. Thankfully for me, didn't damage anything. All right, so the part of look what Scott got earlier tonight. Like I said, I'm going to kind of recap, other than the racing rigs now, and then tomorrow night I'll put the other 3 racing sets up after their race night, and then we'll pick which one of those 3 that we want to wrap up tomorrow night after race night. New 4-gear chassis are under the top fuel. Sweet. Oh, I can't wait to see. You got to get a video out, Dan. You got to get a video out. So this box, part of the box, part of the big box, it all came from Germany, in case you missed it. I got another race set, and I got the international version of the World Tour that featured the Mika Hakkinen and the Ferrari number 3, which we've already seen those cars before. But it came with that race set. There's the controllers. There's the power pack. It didn't come with the box, but I didn't care. But it came with the track, so this will be used on my track, my Tyco track that I'm building. But the big thing to me is it came with all the extras. So not only did I get a complete set with good cars that are rare, because that's the European international version of the Mika, but it came with a new old stock Formula Tyco corkscrew set, which I could use if I need the banks, because you don't have to make a corkscrew. You know, you got basically 2 sets of 9s, and it came in there. So that came in handy. Will come in handy. The set came with, he packed everything in it. I've got the flags, the rails, the supports, and everything came in this box. That's all pretty standard stuff. But it also came with not 1, but 2 of the Hot Wheels racing loop tracks. And the story on all this stuff is from an estate sale from someone. Oh, thank you, Adam. Yeah, 15 people tonight on a Wednesday night. Thank you for everybody showing up. And I know I've had more than that at times. I'm 16 now. See, it bops up and down all the time. And I'm just going over what I got at the very beginning. And that was a look what Scott got. It all came in one box in one package. And then I got all 3 of these included with the track set. And it got shipped from Germany to Great Britain. And then from Great Britain to me for $80. So it literally came halfway around the world for $80. And that is a steal. But that just shows you that there's not much market for H.O stuff in Europe. It's all about the 1/32 and the 1/24 scale. And so when nobody around there wanted to buy it, that's when they decided to try to go international and sell it. Oh, wow. See, yeah. See, I'm trying to collect all this, like I mentioned, and you know this, trying to collect all this unique stuff new in the box, this new old stock. You know, I've shown some of the new old stock stuff that I bought from Pro Tinker on his Tyco stuff. I like this Hot Wheels electric racing stuff. Like I said, it's just, they're not making it anymore. There's only so much of it out there. And in 10 or 15 years, you know, this is going to be hard to find. So good stuff to have. Anytime you can find anything brand new in the box. And I think we determined the loops came from, what was it, yeah, the loops are 1998, so they're 24 years old. And wow, it's cool. It's got the European price tags on it, which is cool. I don't know what L2 is for currency, but it's got it on both of them. I'll have to try to look that up. Like I said, they came from Germany. So somebody in Germany would know what that is. And this one, I think they said it came from 98, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. No, I'm sorry, 94. So this one's 28 years old with the corkscrew. And then, in case any of you didn't know who that is, that's a picture of Nigel Mansell. That's the driver of the number 5 Kmart. That's the one that I've got one of his cars on the wall, and I got his twin pack that comes with the racing rig and his F1 car. And we saw it a couple of times in my collection. So that's Nigel Mansell. He's the man. Back in the day, he was the man. He won F1 and he won the IndyCar series. First driver to do that. Oh, I looked that up, by the way. And he was the first driver in history to win both series as a driver. So he won F1, came over to the U.S., kicked some ass, and then he retired. Pretty cool. So that was the look what Scott got tonight. So we got some stuff from an international purchase again. Oh, you guys missed it. It took 3.5 weeks for that stuff to get across the pond, as they call it. We had the slot car guy was here earlier tonight. I'm sure he had to blink out. I looked at the time differences. So his day's just starting as ours is ending. So I'm sure he had things to get started with to get his day going. But I wanted to, you know, throw out another thank you for him for stopping in and remind everybody to please, if you look in my description below, I've got Dan with Slot Valley Racing. I've got Steve with Stockpile Hobbies. I've got Pro Tinker Toys linked to their website in there. I've got the email address for Pro Tinker Toys. I've got a brand new channel, Mike's Slot Car Garage. He reached out to me and said, hey, man, I'm starting a channel. Could you give me your opinion? Please, guys, support this man. He's got some good stuff out there already. And like I said, anybody that's taken their time to make the videos is doing it because they love it. And if you're in the South Florida area, you'll definitely want to get with him because he's looking for other people besides his family to slot car race. So let's go by and help out Mike. Go by, subscribe to his channel, hit the thumbs up, hit the bell. Go by, definitely email Pro Tinker at the support@protinkers.com and let them know about the auction cars on starting bid prices. You know, like I said, guys, let's keep this hobby going. We, you know, like I said, I get to view where people are viewing my videos from, and It's international. I've got subscribers that are international. If someone would have told me I have a subscriber from South Africa, I'd have said, really? What? I never knew anybody. I don't know anybody in South Africa, but he's a subscriber to my channel and he watches routinely. So thank you to whoever you are. And please try to join in on a chat or let me know. We got to try to grow this hobby and get it popular again and get more manufacturers into the hobby, because that does nothing but benefit us all with more cool stuff like Pro Tinker's new video on the new 4-lane track that Auto World came out with. Manufacturers will make more cool shit like that if there's more demand for it. And the only way to get more demand for it is to get more interest in the hobby. So please, everybody, support everybody that's in the hobby. Support everybody that supports the hobby as far as businesses go, because they need our support to stay open and keep buying more product and show those manufacturers that this is a viable option. We need to keep investing in this for the future. So anybody has any questions on any of these videos that I've done, leave me a comment. I will get back to you. Ryburn, I will get back with you. Dan, I will get back with you a little bit later after the videos, both of them tonight. Anybody else has any questions that's viewing this later that's not on the live feed, please leave a comment below. Join in. If you know something that I don't know or someone in the chat doesn't know, share it. That's how this whole community is going to get stronger, is if we all share and encourage others to join in with us and have some fun, because that's what this is all about. So I hope you guys enjoyed my little tour down memory lane of all these racing rigs and maybe some of the stories behind them. The story behind the Look What Scott's Got, some of the details on collectibles and stuff like that with this Mika car. That's what I'm doing. I'm sharing so that you guys have the knowledge to share with other people. So if you guys know something I don't know or something that would enhance, please let me know. That's what this channel's all for, is reciprocal, helping each other. We all scratch each other's backs. We all get a comfy, good feeling. So without further ado, thank you again from the bottom of my heart. Thank you to all 15 of you that have come in tonight. I will be live tomorrow night after the Pro Tinker Toys race night. So I'll probably put it for 15 after 7 like I did last time. And if theirs runs later after 15 after, then I'll wait till theirs is over before I start mine. So everybody tune in tomorrow night for the race night at Pro Tinkers. Check in with me afterwards. We'll pick which case we're going to bubble wrap up out of the 3 that are left out of the 16. So guys, if you've been with me, we're down literally, we've done 13 cases of cars, 48 cars per case, and we've got 3 more to go. So join me tomorrow night after racing. Everybody have a good Thursday. Take care. Be safe. Light some sparks and melt some plastic. Till tomorrow night. Bye-bye.